Welcome to Superlap Scotland for qualifying for our July meeting here under beautiful sunny skies at Knockhill on Sunday for round number 5. So as the cars hit the track for the first time of asking on the Sunday, you can see the conditions were absolutely perfect. Great to see a good field of cars back out for us. And there's one road car which we haven't seen this year, that Ian Bonthorne in his Bonthorne Security BMW. Ian, a man who we know from racing minis in the SMRC and doing a little bit of focus racing up and down the country here in his BMW for the first time of asking, along with his good friend Martin Hutton in his little 106, his supercharged 106 Peugeot. Martin puts a lot of effort into that. He's also one of the scrutineers for the Scottish Motor Racing Club. Great to see him on track. Nev Wood was back as ever with the Aerial Atom, fast as you like, and this thing seems to grow more aero every time we see him on track. Nev Wood also going to be here at Intake Festival for us, and Dave Larg with a bit of a problem at McIntyre, running in just a little bit too hot with the Honda Civic, but managing to get the car stopped before he went into the gravel, right in front of Robert Wilkie, who is the man on his Strathearn pest control car. But unfortunately, things don't always go to plan. There's a few cars stopped on track, and that was Dave Joyce and his Renault Clio just on the exit off the Black Circle chicane. Dave was towed back in, and it was a weekend of woes for that man, and not something that we normally see. Fastest in Class G was Andrew Kindness, a 101.907 in his Mini. Adam putting a lot of laps in his Mini into practice and play and making sure that he was a good time for qualifying. A 101.9, he'll be happy with that one in car number 155, the little blue Mini. Ian Bonthorne using a lot of the pit exit there. Dave Larg just about to start a hot lap. And then we catch up with Eric Holmes coming down through Butchers and over the Black Circle chicane. Eric using a little bit more track than he normally uses there. You can see a fair bit of boost coming at the side of that as well. Michael Imrie was back as well, and great to see Michael fastest in Class F, as we would probably expect, with a 1 minute .963. Michael Imrie. The question is, when will he make the step up from Superlap Scotland into mod sports? It's talked about by quite a few people, and will he do it? Craig Nicholl showing us just how flamboyant and sideways he can get in the Caterham coming through Clark's there. And Tom Lockhart, depending on what's in the track, you look at Tom Lockhart, it looks like two completely different cars. 716 Tom Lockhart, fast as you like. Marshall Wishart was also here in his BMW, so it was a bit of a BMW theme with him and Ian Bonthorne, seeing who could be the fastest road car in that class. Marshall Wishart all the way back down from the Shetland Isles, more than welcome. Fastest in Class E, Robert Wilkie with a 59.020 for Robert in the Strathearn Pest Control Renault Megane, and a lot of traffic on a few of his laps as well. But Robert has had a stellar year. It really has worked every time he's been on track. He's been fast, he's been consistent, and he's put together a good championship run for King of the Hill and his overall championships. Alex Milne in the Racing Awareness Scotland Audi through the hairpin with a bit of understeer, and his teammate Henry Simmons in his Megane using a whole heap of exit kerb or apex kerb as he goes through Clark's. The Kindness Subaru chased down by Eric Holmes running round towards the hairpin, both from up the north of Scotland. MB Garage for Eric, and here we see fastest in Class D Dave Larg with a 57.5 after that little moment he had at McIntyre's earlier on. Dave in car 84, very much back with a bang and up to pace. The chicane, a place where a lot of people like to use as much of the touring car line as they possibly can. Gotta watch you don't damage your car taking too much of the kerb through that chicane. Steve Sadler, will we see Steve back for the last round of SLS? We sincerely hope so, but he has got a lot of things on business wise just now as we go on board with the fastest in Class B, Fiona Kindness, a 54.809, chasing down Andrew Barbour in the Pro Class Mitsubishi just ahead of us up the road. But Fiona very much fast in the Subaru, a car which she really enjoys now. After the Skyline all those years ago was pensioned off, the Subaru is now Fiona's car of choice. Adam only allowed to compete in the Mini. Dave Capstick through the chicane in the lovely little 555 Racing Awareness Scotland Renault Clio. And again we pick back up with Craig Nicholl, who is all action in the Class A Caterham. Through the chicane he goes, 53.4. A little bit too much of the apex kerb going through there. That looked like he caught him out just a little bit of sideways towards the exit kerb for Nicholl, but he comes with a very good turn of speed and we know just how fast he is. There goes Eric Holmes. MB Garage Services on the side of that car, loyal sponsor for Eric and Matty Lawson for a long time, as Nev Wood goes through in his Pickwick Performance Aerial Atom. And then this man, Andrew Barbour, who we haven't seen too much of on screen. Andrew does a lot of European time attack and time attack in England, and we're loving every time he comes to Superlap Scotland. He was fastest with a 50.607 in the Pro class. And there is the biggest wing, I think. That even rivals Nev Wood's wing when it comes in towards the airpin. AKB Racing. You can find Andrew on Facebook as he makes his way up the main straight. That thing looks like a handful, even in a straight line. Let's take a quick look at the qualifying results, and we've just seen the fastest Pro Class car was Andrew Barbour's Mitsubishi Evo. The A Class went to Craig Nicholl in his Caterham 7, and Fiona Kindness in her Subaru Impreza was fastest in Class B. Ian Bonthron's BMW took Class C honours, with Dave Larg taking Class D honours in his Honda Civic. The Renault Megane of Robert Wilkie took Class E honours, with Michael Imrie in his Renault Clio in Class F, and fastest Class G car, the Mini Cooper of Adam Kindness. As we move into the afternoon's proceedings, well, the weather stayed with us, and on to the finals we went. The fastest in Class G was Adam Kindness in his BMW Mini, a 101.676 for Adam Kindness, and some onboard footage of Adam through the left-hander in towards McIntyre's. You can see the car a little bit lively on the back end as he gets on the brakes and turns into McIntyre's, and then he's down through the Butchers over the crest of that black circle chicane. In true Mini fashion, Adam just flirting with the edge of the track there. The wind of the car picking up the dust from the gravel trap. Good to see that as he come through Clark's. Adam, a couple of gear changes away from a decent lap time in his Class G Mini Cooper. A 101.676 into the hairpin. Down the gears he goes, through the apex of the hairpin. Adam Kindness will be back with us for the final round in September, and we look forward to seeing him in the Mini, hopefully with a little bit more competition as he went up towards the checker flag for his super lap. On to the Class F final. Martin Hutton in the little Peugeot 106 HND supercharged car this actually that Martin's put together. Builds all his own cars himself in the garage along with his very good close friend Ian Bonthron. As he came out, he was accelerating up towards the line, a 105.667 for Martin Hutton. Next car on track, Carl Walker in towards Duffus Dip. Great to see Carl Walker back. He was only meant to be here for the Saturday, but he got a little bit of special dispensation from the family and was allowed to come back for the Sunday as well. So great to see Carl back on track in the number 29 car, a 104.6 for him. Simon McWilliam was also on track in his Kimmy's backed Renault Clio. Simon McWilliam, car number 59. Simon managed to put in a 104.169 lap. 104.169 for Simon. Good consistent fast laps in his Class F Renault Clio on his way towards the flag. Davy Capstick, car 555. He did a 103.419. 103.419 in Class F. And Capstick in his first year of Superlap Scotland, very much getting up to pace, along with the Racing Awareness Scotland guys enjoying his super lap as Tom Lockhart comes flying through the chicane in true touring car style fashion. His Renault Clio 172, a 102.346 for the man in the car, which has very distinctive paintwork, and we're big fans of that. It doesn't do it any justice on the TV. You need to come and see it for real life to see how bright it actually is. Michael Imrie was the fastest in Class F though. Michael Imrie has stamped his authority all over Class F this year, and great to see Michael back after a pretty tricky start to the year where he rolled the car in towards the fence. A 101.256, yes, you heard me correct, he rolled the car into the fence at the entrance to turn 3 McIntyre's. Michael Imrie though very much back with a bang after having to sit on the sidelines and watch everybody else compete in Superlap Scotland. He's now a very much a seasoned pro. And the question in the paddock and in the organising committee is, when will Imrie make the step up into the Mod Sports Race Series? Will that be 2023? We'll have to keep our eyes on that. A 101.256, 101.256 for Michael Imrie and his Renault Clio 197. On to the Class E finals. Henry Simmons first in towards Duffus Dip at great speed there. As you see Henry coming through, up towards the chicane. He goes over one kerb, over the second kerb, and it jumps from underneath him. Henry Simmons backwards into the gravel trap. That, ladies and gentlemen, is something you don't see very often. But Henry Simmons in his Renault Megane RS bounces through off the kerb, caught on camera. Henry backwards into the gravel trap. Steve Sadler, his teammate, was also out there. Stephen Sadler went through. He did a 104.212. The Racing Awareness Scotland guys, there are quite a few of them out there. There's Alex Milne, Andrew Fahey, Stephen Sadler and Davy Capstick all together, all having fun for Racing Awareness Scotland. Mini Cooper S, a 102.187 for Sean Robertson as he bounces through the chicane. Tries to not do a Henry Simmons, but does get through in his Cooper S. You can hear the little supercharger whining itself away as he heads round towards the hairpin. 102.187 for Sean Robertson in that Mini Cooper S. And this is a road car. Yeah, Ben Robinson arrived in a Toyota Yaris. Complete road car, run it all day on the Saturday perfectly and then run out of brakes. So did limited running on the Sunday, but was still very quick. Great to have the man back in his Yaris, a 101.287. Dave Joyce, after mechanical issues in the morning, did manage to get back out on track. He did a minute .525 as he goes 2 or 3 wheeling through the chicane there, Dave Joyce. Teammate to Michael Imrie in their team car that they have both entered as well. Full gas, full commitment, maximum attack, can only be one thing. Car 144, Donny McLeod, Renault Clio 172 for Class E, 59.289 for Donny McLeod, 59.289. Donny coming off a very good victory on the Saturday, unable to do it the Sunday. It was Robert Wilkie with a 58.5 who took the victory and Class E honours. Robert Wilkie stamping his authority all over King of the Hill and Class E when it comes to normal direction. But reverse direction, which it is in September, Donny McLeod appears to have the beating of Robert, so it will be a very interesting September meeting when we get to Knockhill for the 4th of September for the anti-clockwise. But Robert Wilkie on his way around here in the Renault Megane. He had a few mechanical issues a couple of years ago, but that car now, touchwood, seems to be pretty sound as he comes in towards the hairpin. The Strathearn pest control man exited the hairpin, a 58.518 second lap for his Class E Renault Megane R26. As we move into Class D finals, a couple of cars in Class D, Alex Milne being one of them, and Alex, the man behind Racing Awareness Scotland, promotes the brand very, very well. And if you ever want to speak to Alex in the paddock, more than happy to tell you just all about it. 59.7 for Alex Milne in Class D. We also had Dave Larg and Ian Bonthorne, didn't we? Yes, Bonthorne in his road car. There we see him, PSS IT in the registration plate. Ian made his way up the main straight. Great to see him here. And Dave Larg again understeers his way through McIntyre's. Disastrous run for Dave in the final. 58.372. 58.372. That left the door open for Marshall Wishart towards the end of the day. But Dave Larg, a man who is starting to get the season pro look around him as well as he goes round Knockhill. Unfortunately, that trip into the gravel cost him dearly. Marshall Wishart, though, 58.0 in his road-going BMW, all the way down from the Shetland Isles. The pilot himself flying around Knockhill. We can't wait to see him back for September as well. And a good bit of form that Marshall brought with him in the BMW. Standard road car, listening to the radio all the way around, having fun, car 67. And every time he stepped out that car, there was a massive smile on the face of Marshall Wishart. On to Class B, Fiona Kindness, fastest with a 55.065. Let's ride with Fiona. As she goes down towards Butchers and then the Black Circle chicane, working away hard behind the steering wheel of that Subaru Impreza. And then up the back straight towards Clark. Good apex. You can see just how violent a ride it is when you're in a car as you go around here, around Knockhill Racing Circuit. Fiona getting bounced about the inside there, the stiff suspension. as she comes in towards the hairpin. Nice wide turn and get as much power as you can through and out of the corner. And trying not to loop it back onto the inside. And Fiona Kindness takes the Class B honours and drives through the checkered flag. 55.065. Fastest in Class A, but excluded for track limits, Craig Nicol. In towards Duffus Dip, one of the fastest men you'll ever see around Knockhill. Craig Nicol just clips a couple of bollards as he goes down through Leslie's, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is your run done. Put a couple of wheels into those bollards and that is you done for the day. But Craig Nicol, he has the pace to possibly win outright on his day. But as he come in towards the hairpin, still great to see the Caterham here. Craig will be back for September with redemption for those bollards at the bottom of Leslie's. Pro Class final. Great to have some Pro Class cars here. Eric Holmes, Nev Wood and Andrew Barbour. Eric on track. He's been struggling with a few mechanical gremlins through the course of the day. And when you get to see Eric going in that car, bouncing it through the chicane there. Not a very comfortable landing for Eric there. Won't do the back any good as he come through the hairpin up towards the line. Eric did a 52.585. And that car, again, another car which does seem to be extremely reliable and fast. 51 flat for Andrew Barbour. He took the Pro Class honours, and great to see that man, as I've said before, all the way from Aberdeen, but he does do an awful lot of European time attack and the National Time Attack series. Andrew Barbour in the 88 car launches it through the chicane as if he's Ashley Sutton there, lands on the exit and accelerates hard up the back straight with some 500-600 horsepower underneath his right foot to play with. Beautiful blue skies in the background as the dust from the exhaust kicked up from the gravel traps in towards the hairpin. Andrew only had to get through the hairpin, then up towards the line. A 51.083, faster in qualifying, but did the job to take the Pro Class honours for the Sunday final. Let's now take a look at the final results for Superlap Scotland, and it's Andrew Barbour fastest in the Pro Class, with Fiona Kindness taking B honours. D honours went the way of Marshall Wishart, with once again Robert Wilkie taking home the E Class honours. Michael Imrie stamped his authority over Class F, and Adam Kindness with his Mini top of Class G. Join us for the next instalment of Superlap Scotland live at Knockhill Racing Circuit on Sunday the 4th of September.